So our lesson objective is I can use order of operations. I don't know why I cannot use the laser. Here we go. To evaluate numerical expressions. So what is order of operations? So these are steps that you'll use to evaluate a numerical expression in a specific order. So what are the orders of operations? So a lot of folks know it as PEMDAS, but we're really not going to use PEMDAS in this class. But if you know it as PEMDAS, that's fine. So the first thing we do, I have here this expression here. So we say groups of numbers. In this case, for those of you that know parentheses, yes, this is what I mean, my parentheses. But a lot of times, parentheses don't appear like that. So it could look differently. Like if you had these bars here, this represents like this. This represents absolute value. It's not the same as parentheses. So that's why instead of saying parentheses, we just say groups. So we're going to go ahead and simplify our group of numbers. So we have -1 squared divided by 1 plus 1. So we're going to keep going now. So now we take care of our exponents. So we have an exponent here. -1 squared is 1. So we have 1 divided by 1 plus 1. Then we have multiplication / division. That means one or the other. It means one can be performed or the other can be performed. If both are there, it doesn't really matter which one you do first, but I would say you always want to go from left to right. So in this case, we only have division. We have 1 divided by 1, which is 1. So we have 1 plus 1 now. And then the last thing is we have addition or subtraction. So we're going to add, and we have 2. And that's an example done. So we're going to use these now for a couple more examples. So we're going to use order of operations to evaluate the following. So we have our order of operations here. So number 1, we don't have any groups of numbers. We do have this divide 3 times 2. We're going to worry about that afterwards. We don't have any exponents. Now we have multiplication or division. Now again, we go from left to right. So we're going to do first 54 divided by 3. So you have to figure out how many times 54 goes into 3. If you don't know off the top of your head, you can use your calculator. So 54 divided by 3 is 18. And then it's times 2, and we have 7 plus this. So we're going to now do 18 times 2. Again, use your calculator if you don't know. It's going to be 36. No, I just made a mistake, actually. Yeah, it is 36. What am I doing here? And then we're going to add 7 and 36 together, and we'll get 43. All right, so here we're going to use orders of operation to evaluate the following. So we have 17 minus 2 to the 5th divided by 4 plus 6. So we're going to go through our order of operations I have here. So first we go over groupings of numbers. There's no parentheses here, and there's really no symbols that symbolize groups. So we know that we're all good here. As far as exponents, we do have this 2 to the 5th. So the 2 to the 5th, that's going to be 32. So we're going to rewrite this with 32 in place of 2 to the 5th. And now we have multiplication or division. So we have division here. We have the 32 divided by the 4. So we're going to rewrite this as 32 divided by 4 is 8. So we're going to rewrite this as 17 minus 8 plus 6. Now we go from left to right. 17 minus 8 is 9 plus 6 is 15. And that's it. All right, so here we're going to use orders of operation to evaluate this. So again, we don't have any groups of numbers. We have no parentheses or anything that looks similar to it. We do have an exponent. We have our 4 to the 2nd power, which is 16. So we're going to rewrite this with the 16 replacing 4 to the 2nd power. I just highlighted it too. Okay, so then for multiplication or division, we have multiplication right here. So we're going to multiply the 16 times 3, which is 48. So then we're going to rewrite this with the 48 replacing the 16 times 3. So we have the 24 minus 48 plus 15. So now we just add or subtract from left to right. So 24 minus 48 is -24. And then -24 plus 15 is -9. And that's our final answer. Here we're going to use orders of operation to evaluate the following. So we have groups of numbers here. It's actually the 7 minus 2 squared. But what we have to do here is actually use our orders of operation again. So we have exponents, multiplication or division, and then addition or subtraction. It's probably not going to all show up in the final video. That's okay. I'm just writing the same operations. They don't look that great anyway. But the 2 squared, that's our exponent, so that's going to be 4. So we have 7 minus 4, which is just 3. Sorry, I did not draw an equal sign. Okay, so we're going to rewrite this now with the 3 replacing the 7 minus 2 squared. So then we're going to now use our, so now what we actually have are 2 other groups, because we have a group up here actually and another group. So we kind of dealt with a group here, but then another thing is this fraction bar also represents groups as well. So that's another way that we have groups without actually saying parentheses. It's not always written, but they're grouped together. So we're actually going to now evaluate 3 plus 17 in the numerator and negative 4 plus 2 times 5 in the denominator. So 3 plus 17, that's going to be 20. So I'm going to have 20, and then I'm going to have that over, and I'm going to have negative 4 plus 2 times 5. 2 times 5 is 10. So negative 4 plus 10 is negative 4. 20 divided by negative 4 is negative 5, and I totally got some Halloween colors, which is great. Here we're going to use orders of operation to evaluate the following. So first, let's look at our orders of operation with groups. So we have 2 sets of groups here. We have one here and then one here. This first one here is not so bad. 8 minus 5 is just 3. But then this one over here, the 5 squared minus 4 cubed in this bar means it means absolute value. It's how far a number is from 0. So like the absolute value of 5, how far away is that from 0? 5. And then the absolute value of negative 4, how far away that is from 0? That's 4. So I drew these numbers plotted on a number line. And as you see, the distance that I drew here, these represents distance, is always going to be positive. So that's why we make these numbers positive. So when we rewrite the 5 squared minus 4 squared in the absolute value symbol, what we're going to do is we're going to do 5 squared first. So 5 squared, that's 5 times 5, which is 25. So I'm going to rewrite that as 3 minus the absolute value of 25 minus 4 to the 3rd power divided by 3. Now I'm going to do 4 to the 3rd power. That's 4 times 4 times 4, which is then 4 times 4 is 16 times another 4 is 64. So I'm going to rewrite this as 25 minus 64. And then what I'm going to do is now subtract 64 from 25. And I get 3 minus the absolute value of negative 39 divided by 3. So now I'm going to rewrite this. I'm going to take the absolute value of negative 39. So I have 3 minus 39 divided by 3. So now we're done with our groups of numbers. We now are going to go through our exponents. We don't have any, so we're all good. And then we have multiplication or division. We have multiplication, we don't have multiplication, we have division right here. So we're going to do 39 divided by 3, so that's 13. Then we have 3 minus 13. Now we go to addition or subtraction. We just have negative 10. Here we're going to use orders of operation to evaluate the following. Okay, so we first are going to go through our groups of numbers. We actually have here a group of numbers in these parentheses here, and then we also have one in the numerator and denominator. So we're going to go through first and just start with the parentheses we see. So we have 2 cubed minus 5. 2 cubed is 2 times 2 times 2. 2 times 2 is 4 times another 2 is going to be 8. So this becomes 8 minus 5, which is 3. Then we have 6 squared divided by 9. So 6 squared, that's 6 times 6, so that's 36. Divided by 9 will give us 4. So now we're going to rewrite this by substituting the 3 for the 2 cubed minus 5 and the 6 squared divided by 9 with the 4. And then what I'm going to do is now evaluate the numerator and the denominator. So we're going to work with the numerator. and we have 5 squared, so that's 5 times 5 minus 3 squared. That's 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. So 3 times 3 is 9 times another 9 is going to be 81. And then 5 times 5 is 25. So we'll rewrite this as 25 minus 81. And then we have 3 minus 4, which is negative 1. So then 25 minus 81 is negative 56. And then we have that divided by negative 1, so we have positive 56. All right, so after this lesson, you can evaluate numerical expression using orders of operation.